I'm
And
not ready.
we are live.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back with special guest Erica Beine. Erica, how are you?
Good. Thanks, Nate. Thanks for having me on.
So good to see you. I was just saying I'm not ready to go live because I have a baby in the background here screaming.
And
But,
so we went live.
Yeah, we went live anyways, just like we typically do. Well, it's good to be back. It's been a little, it's been a minute, you know?
It has been a minute. I don't know what's been going on, or I do know what's been going on. A lot has been going on, you know. Got a new job working at Any Question now, full time. And that's been super exciting and challenging over the last kind of month. I was juggling two jobs at once, finishing up with Fitter and Faster, and then moving into this transition at Any Question, which has been incredible. And then started full time on June 1st, and just at it. And I'll tell you something that's really cool about my job now is. Part of my job is to onboard experts, Erica, right? People like you in your field who are the best at the best, do what they do. My job is to line up kind of meetings with them, 30-minute meetings, right? So my whole day now is like these 30-minute meetings with the best people in the world at what they do in all different fields. And so I go from a meeting with Michael Johnson to then a meeting with, the Koa Smith, who's one of the best surfers in the world, to a meeting with this person, that person. And so like my whole day is just these meetings with these high level people. I'm like, these are like mini podcasts I'm doing now, like all day long. It's just wild to be talking to these people.
Michael Johnson?
It's exciting, huh?
Michael Johnson?
Michael Johnson, man. I had a meeting with, he's on the app, man. He's on there.
With the gold shoes?
He's in there with the gold shoes. Is the gold shoes behind him while he's doing these questions?
That's amazing. You got Brett Favre on there yet, Brett?
Brett Favre? No, we need Brett Favre. You got a connection to Brett?
No, but he is like, I grew up a Packers fan, went to Lambeau all my life watching him. I'm from Wisconsin. I mean, you bleed Brett Favre, in your bones if you're, Packers fan. So
well, listen, Eric, you're no good to me unless you get me a contact. All right.
Well,
come
I'm
on.
asking you for a contact.
Maybe.
How do I find Brett Favre?
I'm from Wisconsin, and I'm a diehard Packers fan, and I loved Brett Favre growing up. But once he signed with the Vikings, I took his cardboard cutout, and I burned it. It was cool that he went to the Jets, but when he came to the Vikings, I was like, nah, dude, we're done.
That was hard. Him or Elton John are my guys. Those two. I tell people, if you got me a connection, I think I can reward you handsomely. Those are my two.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. So maybe we'll have an NFL channel here in the next 6 months, and we can get him going. That'd be cool as hell. But
he'd be good at it.
He'd be amazing. Yeah, he's awesome. But I did want to say thank you to you. Thank you for being a supporter of the podcast in this time. It's we don't have a lot of supporters in that sense, in terms of people that we wanted to partner with, people that we feel good are doing great things in the community. We have a couple, and you're one of them, and we appreciate the support you've been giving us, and hopefully we've been given a little bit back in return. Just tell us real briefly about how the business has been going in the last kind of 6 months.
Oh my gosh, it's been awesome. I mean, since I was on the podcast back in, what was that, January of 2021, I think, Brett, that I was on with you. Things really blew up thanks to Brett, and why we're so proud and happy to support you, because, your opportunity for us to show the world what we do has really helped so many people. So in the last 6 months, things have really gone pretty hard, which has been so awesome. We have a great team of people. I learned pretty early, you surround yourself with people who are way smarter than you in their respective areas, and you ask for help. So we have a great business coach. We have great people, that work on our staff that are former swimmers, current swimmers, former coaches, that really get our sport and can relate to our athletes. So we've got to work with a lot of people going to worlds, which is fun. And I tell people, yeah, it's cool to work with these high level athletes. I love their mentality. I love their drive. I love their dedication, but it's also really cool to help the younger kids too, and help a parent understand how to help their kid recover, or start learning those things nutritionally about their child. And hey, we don't go to the concession stand and get the donut for a recovery snack when we're hungry at a meet. Like, what's the better choice? And those are fun conversations too. So we really get to span the broad spectrum of athletes, from people going and, contending for world championship gold medals to the people that, are maybe probably not going to use swimming as the rest of their life's monetary income. But it's really been pretty awesome to see what we've done grow and just reach out and help people. If we just keep helping people, one, our business grows, and that's great for all the people that work on our staff, but more people are just being helped and understanding their bodies, which is the big purpose. And that's what's so cool.
Right. Well, 3 things I wanted to touch on in respect to that, right? So who are the people at the World Championships that have been working with that are going to be competing here in the next few days? Part 2 of that would be then, why have they decided to partner with you? These high-level athletes, what do they think they're getting out of this? Why have they come to you for help? And then the third part of that would be, what are some of the recommendations that you've been talking to them about in general about what they can do in the the last few weeks, the last few days, maybe even the day of their race, that can fuel them correctly so that they can perform at their highest level, So first off is like, who are the people at Worlds that you've been working with?
Yeah, so people going over to Worlds, World Championship team, USA, Phoebe Bacon, Caleb Dressel, Charlie Clark, Carson Foster, those guys. From Canada, we have Catherine Savard, Mary Sophie Harvey, and then Australia, Maya Rasmussen are all going over to Worlds, and some of them are going on to Commonwealth Games as well. So some of them are going to be gone for quite some time. So definitely some big names in the industry for sure, especially in USA swimming. And some of these guys, like Caleb, has been, we started with Caleb back in 2019, which is a long time ago. And some people are a little newer. Like Charlie actually hasn't even gotten his result, or he's gotten his results. We just haven't had the opportunity to go through them yet. So it's a lot of broad range of people, but those are the people that are going over there. They're at camp right now. And, some of the big things and why they're doing it is, these are just things I hear. Right. These are things I hear. I can't tell you specifically who said what, but what I hear when they come to me, when we do our consultation, is I say, just tell me what's going on. People don't come to me because you feel amazing, you recover perfectly, you're never sore, your mental health is awesome, right? You come because there's an issue, a problem, or something you're just trying to get better at. So let me hear what you're dealing with. And some of the things that I'm hearing them understand or they're trying to deal with is mental health concerns. The big one is digestion problems. Their stomachs, bloating, gas, right? There's just stuff that's going on in their stomach that doesn't make them feel well. And in America, especially, our food is packed with so much stuff and additives and artificial junk that it's hard to really pinpoint what is the problem that's going on. A lot of them want better recovery. Some of these athletes are towards the back half of their career, or maybe just have, one more cycle to go and that's it. So they want to recover better. Unfortunately, as we get older, it gets harder and harder to do that, or they've dealt with injuries. They're trying to figure out what foods to eat more of or to get rid of out of their routine. And just instead of going through these long food sensitivity elimination diets, right? So if you want to do one of those, you're going to have to take dairy out for 3 or 4 weeks. Then we're going to take gluten out for 3 or 4 weeks. We could be in a whole 52-week food sensitivity elimination process. They come and we can get it done in 3 weeks and know what's going on in their system. We can help them sleep better, recover better, know which supplements to use, which ones not to use that are actually working against their body and making their fatigue and exhaustion worse. So some of those are the big things, just struggling with what every swimmer struggles with. Caleb or Charlie or Phoebe, they're not different than any of our other swimmers. They're just at a higher level. They're still dealing with the same struggles that everybody else is in the pool. So they're just trying to figure that out much quicker than go through this whole long process of trying to, I wonder if it's this, or we're going to try this instead. This just gets right down to it and we figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Nate, what do you got?
Have any parents been like, hey, I want to do it too?
Oh, totally. We actually probably 50% of our testing population has probably been parents, honestly. Yeah. And sometimes right away, the parents like, we all need to do this. Our whole family needs to do it. Everybody. Or other times it's, I really want to get my athlete started. And then we find something in their athlete's body. Right. And they're thinking, wait a minute.
When you get the results back, and it's so comprehensive, right? Like you really get great information. And I think the biggest one for like me, I'm getting a little bit older. I I know Brett just had a birthday too. We're getting a little bit older here, you know, like
take it easy. Don't you talk about yourself, all right?
Yeah, like joint pain and joint inflammation, I think is like the one like that comes to my brain. Like I want to make sure I curtail that and you know, try not to eat the foods that are going to make me all inflamed.
Right. Something we've added on to, Brett, since, you know, we last chatted back in 2021 is we started doing this. I sort of tested it with a certain small population, but we've done a food sensitivity panel. So chicken, cinnamon, egg yolks, egg whites. So we've really gone into like the even more specific. So if somebody's really having some digestive issues, that can pinpoint some things right away. So, you know, there's been people that are like, I eat chicken all the time. You know, I don't really want to eat beef, or I don't want to eat fish, so chicken is my go-to. Well, if they're highly reactive to chicken, we need to find something different. So if you're putting chicken in your body before you go swim tomorrow, then it's reacting poorly. You have no idea. And so that's a helpful way to figure that out too. So something we've added on, and that's been a helpful thing for some people really to understand their digestion. Some people typically have some clues already on, I think wheat bothers me, but this is just more of a guarantee. No 4-week elimination diet. We can figure this out.
Yeah, I've been highly reactive to chicken, as you can tell. Look at those bad boys.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. We got a couple of questions coming in, serious ones. That was a joke. This is a serious one. Do results change over time? How often should we assess?
That's a good question. So no, it's your genetics, so they never do change. It's a one-time test. You never really do have to retest. Sometimes, occasionally, I'll send people off for a blood draw if we see something really significant in their results, and I'm concerned about their vitamin D, their B12 levels, and we want to just really get a baseline of where they're at and make sure that's coming up. But otherwise, there is really no consistent testing that needs to be done.
Okay. Another question here from Sam. Is there a certain age to begin this?
Yeah, I mean, there really isn't. I've had people test their infant kids. I've had people in their 80s do this. Yeah, one of the girls on our team, she has probably I don't know, she's the youngest child on our staff. Pretty close though, but she tested him really early because she found out she had a certain really major thing in her genetic report, and she goes, "I want to make sure I'm feeding my son the right foods because what if he's got this too?" And I don't want to give him all the other stuff that's going to make him cranky, bad
colicky, gassy.
I mean, not sleeping, waking up, colicky, right? So many parents think they have colicky kids. Well, it's just a lot of times a dairy or a folic acid problem.
Listen, if you can get that 80-year-old to live to 130, your business will boom.
I don't know if anyone wants to live to 130, Brett. That's the thing. I don't know if anyone wants to live that long.
I don't know why they're doing it at 80 then, because they're looking for the elixir of life at that point in time.
Elixir of life. They want to feel good the rest of their life. Why not? Why not? Right? Or it helps, if you do it, it helps your children. We can kind of assume too what maybe your children have. We can give you some pointers. It just kind of explains some things too, maybe up the line. Like I've done obviously mine a long time ago, but I found out some things through my family, like, oh, my great grandfather died of Alzheimer's. And knowing what's in my genetics, there's some major connections, and that's pretty interesting to learn.
Another great question here. Look at this one. Are your services only for US based athletes? I know the answer to that.
No, actually, we've done people all over the world. So it's pretty simple. It's just a little extra step in getting it over there through either some sort of international shipping process, but that's otherwise it's pretty simple.
That was from Lord Farquaad.
I saw that. That's awesome. I've never worked with the Lord, so I'd love to work with the Lord. Yeah, that's Lord loaded. Or Brett Favre, one of the two. Already equal playing fields.
Classic. What else, Nate? You got anything else before she jumps off? We get into some swim stuff.
You guys do team discounts, don't you? Like if a whole entire senior group wants to sign up or something.
Yeah, we do lots of team discounts, group discounts. I mean, that is a significant discount when you come as a team, or we talk to a coach and talk with them about, the program, and we get a certain amount of people. We have different levels of discounts too. And yeah, it's definitely a better choice to go through a team if you have a group. But we get a lot of people individually that reach out, and then later on their team decides that's something they want to do too. But yeah.
All right. So remind us where they find you again.
So Instagram is probably one of the easiest places to find us, and it's just my name. Erica Beine is our handle on Instagram. You can shoot us an email. I think it's scrolling maybe down the bottom down there through through their websites. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So
Okay.
did you want me to answer a question about nutritional needs before meat? I didn't answer that one you had for me.
Yes, do it. I think Nate was looking for a free analysis, but just hit him with this one.
He was hitting. So one of the things you asked me first, I just want to make sure you want me to touch on it. Like the things that, these athletes are eating kind of before the meets, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Not one of the major problems, especially in America. Maybe Lord, is overseas and he's got a better routine before a meet than we do here in America. But people go wrong is the all-you-can-eat pasta bowl at the Olive Garden with breadsticks and that salad, and it's so traditional in America, right? The night before a meet,
pasta party.
Pasta party. I mean, if I hear one more pasta party thing, 80-year-olds don't have pasta parties, Nate. See, that's why they're.
I'm gonna make you a giant T-shirt that's just got a big red circle with an X through pasta party.
No pasta parties allowed. Yeah, so that's one of the big problems. I mean, pasta for a lot of people, we're finding that they have high sensitivity to carbs or they have a folic acid issue. So we really got to limit that pasta before, and we use different, better carb choices like potatoes, sweet potatoes, brown rice, even cauliflower rice. People forget fruit's got a lot of carbs. That's a really good place. It's good to have carbs. If you're an athlete, it's awesome to have carbs. You need carbs, but you don't need an all-you-can-eat endless pasta dish. So a lot of people go wrong with that lasagna, chicken parm, chicken Alfredo, heavy stuff. These athletes that I'm talking to, now we start changing things before you eat, which we can see based on your report, is lean choices. So fish, turkey, chicken. We want lean. We don't want something that sits in your body that feels like a heavy brick. We don't want creamy sauces. Typically, we don't want dairy because a lot of people have dairy sensitivities. They have no idea about it. And then some kind of green stuff, not anything that's going to cause a lot of gas like broccoli or kale or cauliflower. Those cause a lot of gas and bloating. So I always tell kids too, you're not going to make a lot of friends at the meet because you're not going to smell real nice. So stay away from those things. They don't help you swim fast. They're not going to help you make friends at the meet. But greens and good carbs, not the huge pasta bowl, and lean proteins are your best bets before a meet, the whole week before the meet. Just staying off.
What about beet juice? I've heard so much about beet juice. I just met this triathlon guy, and he was just like, "Oh, I gotta drink beet juice before every practice. I drink beet juice before every race."
Oh, Brett, did you guys have people do that in your coaching?
It's just starting, like towards the end of the Auburn years, and then kind of into my pro years. The beet juice was kind of a fad thing, and everyone was into the beet juice. I didn't look at a performance and think, "Thank God for the beet juice," but. Yeah, but they seem to catch on. I think it's one of those things where it's like almost a placebo of like, oh, this is working because everybody's doing it. You remember when everyone started doing cupping, and cupping was the thing? It was like, I got to get some cupping done, and if I have those marks down my back, then I'm definitely going to swim faster than everybody else. So it's like, I don't know. There's some of that. Listen, cupping works. Don't get me wrong. Beet juice works, but to what extent? How do you quantify it? I'm not sure. It's just. If you believe anything works, then go for it.
Yeah. So
stay away from the illegal stuff, but keep on the good stuff. So yeah.
One of the things we see in the genetic report is your aerobic capacity. So how well do you take in oxygen and push it to your muscles? So somebody that has a low or a medium aerobic capacity could definitely benefit from it because it does help your body with oxygen consumption and being more effective at oxygen. Right. And there's juice, there's powders, there's capsules. So it is something like if somebody tells me they have some trouble with oxygen consumption or actually with asthma, if you're in an indoor pool and you're having trouble with the breathing, there's been studies out there that show that beet juice or it's more beet root extract instead of just the beets. It's more the beet root extract. That's the more powerful piece. But that does help asthmatic athletes just with their oxygen consumption. So there can be uses. I mean, like you said, it's a fad, but there actually is useful.
You see the difference. You see the difference between a moron like me's answer and actually someone who knows what they're talking about.
No, I mean. There's been probably many college programs that have spent hundreds or thousands of dollars on beet juice because it was a fad, or the cherry juice, or
it's worth a shot at the time. It's the acai berry. It's going to keep you super healthy.
Acai. Tell me this: what do you think Caleb Dressel eats for breakfast on race day?
What do I think? I hope it's not a cheeseburger and fries.
No, he's not eating that.
He's
No
not
way.
eating, you know.
He's probably eating some like some oats or something, maybe some toast or some fruit or something like that. Probably.
I don't even think we ever had that conversation about meat day breakfast. But what I would assume, and you know, he can come on here and tell me I'm wrong, or you know, one of his siblings, but would probably be, you know, some oats, some maybe some eggs, maybe lean protein choices like eggs, leaner bacon or leaner sausage, maybe a protein shake. You know, he's definitely a guy that knows his supplements well. So he's doing some things pre-meet, pre-warm up that he's doing to make sure he's getting the right stuff in his system. So he's ready to go, but he's probably getting a lot of carbs and good carbs, not pasta carbs or bagel carbs. He's probably getting the right stuff.
Well, what's a good carb to you?
Good carb for breakfast?
Like oats. Yeah, like oats.
Yeah, so oats are great because they kind of slowly digest. You know, fruit's a really good carb, easy.
What's a good fruit on race day, like morning of race day, a good fruit?
Something pretty, I mean, right now in season, watermelon would be a good one just because it's really water dense, right? It's not super high in sugar either, which is great. Berries are also awesome. Cantaloupe is pretty high sugar impact on your body, but if you're going to race, that's okay. We're not worried about that. So I would stick away from apples. They also can cause a lot of gas. And actually, a lot of people are really reactive to apples that we're seeing come back on the food sensitivity.
Interesting.
So that's definitely what I tell people.
I am. You know what I noticed with apples? Yeah, they started doing this genetic modification of apples, right? To make them taste sweeter, to make them taste like peaches and things. As soon as they started doing the GMO type apple, I started having reactions to apple. Like my face started to swell up a little bit whenever I ate an apple, like around my mouth. I get swelling and I'm like, what's going on with apples these days? And then I actually had to write a paper in school about GMO foods. And I found out apples was kind of the number one thing that they were working on. And I was like, oh man, this is not good. So yeah, that kind of thing can have an effect, you know?
It definitely can. Knowing your genetics too, Brett. I know what's inside of you.
Well, we know that now. So yeah,
we know. And I could tell you too. With apples, they're one of the highest pesticide fruits in the country. You can't grow apples in the Midwest without pesticides. I believe the only place in the U.S. you can is the East Coast. So you know, you probably do fine with organic apples. You probably just got to stay away from the other ones.
Yep. Okay, cool. Well, listen, this has been awesome.
Yeah, this has been really helpful.
Yeah, Nate. So now we got to figure out what's going on in you.
Yeah, my joints are feeling so good.
Get this guy tested, man. Come on, dude.
We got to get him tested. We got to get you set up.
We'll get signed up.
Okay.
We'll do it.
We'll do it.
Cool. Right. Listen, appreciate this,
guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Predictions for world champs. Who are you excited to watch race? I'm sure the people that you're working with for sure. Is there a particular race that you've always enjoyed?
You know, the 50's fun, right? I swam the 50 a fair amount, so it's always kind of exciting to watch. I'm not trying to discredit any of my other athletes, but I just think Foster is just so hot right now. He's on a mission, and just truly, like, the conversation I have had with him, I just love the kid.
Such a good kid.
Can I adopt you? I love you. You're just awesome. Just your personality, your gratefulness, your thoughtfulness. I mean, just him and Jake are both just awesome.
Yeah, so, they send me the nicest messages. They're such great kids.
I mean, I'm like, can your parents please write a book on how to raise great kids?
Oh yeah,
I mean, they're just
serious.
They're just phenomenal. If my kids can turn out, at least half as nice and wonderful as those guys, I mean, I'll buy the book at Amazon. I've told Mrs. Russell the same thing. Please write the book on nice kids.
And they're killers in the pool too. They're killers in the pool, which is awesome. They turn, they switch, and I love it. I love that competitive switch. So
Ken's been, up at Mason. Ken did something in the water to get those guys ready. But I'm excited to watch the 4 a.m. I really hope, and I think Foster's gonna just light it up. I'm just ready to watch that come out. Phoebe Bacon and I haven't worked with Ryan White, but I'm excited to see those two really go and take on the backstroke in the U.S. for the ladies. It's just such a strong event in our country, and watch them see how they can take it on for us. They're just been really pretty hot lately too.
8 days out, 8 days away.
8 days.
Listen, we do have a Jack Barrowley kind of news thing here. Did you have any interaction with Jack at all?
I don't think you know who I was or existed. Probably not.
Oh, no. He knows everybody. Jack's the man.
No, I didn't. But I mean, just obviously as a former coach, just respect his longevity. I mean, it's hard to maintain that level of excellence as a
43
team.
years he was there. Like,
they've been good forever. They've won. They've been in the top. They've gotten good recruits. They've made kids way better. And just to maintain that longevity is incredible.
The thing I find interesting about him and Eddie, for instance, right? They're best friends, but second of all, every time you walk on the deck with them, they never seem like they're worn out. They've been walking. Jack's been walking onto the same deck almost for 43 years, and yet you walk on the deck with him today, and it seems like it's the first day on the job for him. Like that kind of energy. I'm like, man, how did you like? Usually the job wears you down. I never got that sense from Jack or Eddie, and that's what I really admired most.
Coincidentally, both of them had like the longest assistant, right-hand man, so to speak, forever. It actually kind of reminds me of like a Skip Kenny and Ted Knapp also, right? Where they were together for 30 years. And that relationship certainly has a lot to do with the cohesiveness of how those programs are run. But 40 Olympic medals, 300 plus All-Americans, pretty outstanding career.
Brett, didn't he, I mean, you probably know a little bit more because you competed against him directly when you're at Auburn, but didn't Jack have like a pretty good management style and really let his assistants take stuff? And I don't know, maybe I'd read this somewhere, and just like I said, I don't really know Jack that well, but that he really kind of acted like a CEO and let his people do what they did, and that we're very good at it. That's just what I've heard. I don't know.
Well, I think there's that. I mean, there's two types of those people. I think there's the David Marsh type who did kind of just stand back a lot more and then kind of interject towards the end a little bit more, and was very, very effective at the end, where I think Jack was always coaching, and he always had his group, and he was always letting his coaches coach for sure. But Jack was always the centralized figure of that team on the deck, writing workouts, getting those people going. Like Chase will tell me that. Chase is like, no, Jack is on the deck every day, coaching a group, killing it, getting results. So I think in the sense he did let his coaches coach, but he was never the type that just stood back and watched from a distance,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
He kept his coaches around. He must have been a good guy to work for, because they didn't leave. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And they're becoming the new head coaches, actually.
Yeah, Steph's going to be the head coach. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And Neil, who swam for Jack.
Yeah.
He's been there since he was a student athlete. Actually, I think he set the NCAA record when he was there, didn't he? 200 breast.
Yeah, he was really good. There's no doubt. I'll tell you this: Georgia did it right, and I said this on my Instagram yesterday. Georgia did it right. Okay, splitting the programs is the absolute right thing to do. It's too difficult for one person to manage two programs right now. I'm going to say that repeatedly because I've been there, I've done it, and I'm also talking to other people that are doing it. It's just impossible. You can't coach 60 people. You just can't. You can't make those relationships. You can't make those relationships in recruiting. When you're bringing, let's say, 10 new people on each year, men and women, that's 20 first of all, and you're tripling the amount of people that you contact with. So now not only are you talking, you're bringing on 20 people, but you're talking to almost 100 people. So you're recruiting 100 people, and you're managing a group of 60 people, and you're managing a staff. One person can't do that. Okay, I don't care who you are. It's got a time limit on it, right? Like, there are people doing it well right now. I'm telling you, it has a time limit on either the person or the family or both or the team. You can have success for a period of time, but sustain that is virtually impossible. I'm just going to say that. So I'm glad Georgia did it the way they're doing it. I think it's very, very smart. Yeah. So that's it. That was my rant. Okay, good. Thanks.
You feel better, Brett?
I do. I just think Georgia did it right. Good on them. I think they just nailed it. They got the best people for the job. They did it the right way. I think.
Didn't have to go look. Didn't have to figure it out.
No one has to already done. Shadow. It's like you got two head coaches now doing their own thing and leading their own way. It removes the whole Jack stigma of like, oh, he's been there for years, this is the way he did it. The two different programs are going to do slightly different things now, which is, I think it's the smart way to do it. So I just think
you get an extra person too, don't you?
Well,
no, you lose a person.
Will they stay combined just on paper? I know a lot of teams do that. They're combined on paper, but they train in separate, so they get that extra.
I don't know exactly how they're going to do it. You know, there's different ways. You know, they might do a complete split, like a Cal, let's say, for instance, or Stanford. They come to mind, right? Complete splits, or they might say, look, we'll do certain things together. We'll travel to meets together, things like that. So there may be like some sort of combination, or there might be a complete split. I'm not sure what their approach is. I get the sense from those two, they'll work together and they'll figure out how to stay relatively combined, you know. But they'll have the freedom to do their own things as head coaches, so that'll be exciting for them. So all right, Eric, I appreciate your time here. We're going to finish up, and then thanks for all your support. All right,
go
Appreciate
Packers.
It. Thanks, guys. Go Packers.
Yeah, go
See you, Erica.
Brett Favre. See ya.
Oh, she's great, dude. I love her.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, she's doing good work in the community, man. More people should be utilizing her services, because I've used it, and I'm telling you, if you look at me 4 years ago and you look at me now, I'm not a figure of fitness, but I'm telling you, I'm in a way better state than I was 4 years ago. And I'm 47 now. When I was head coaching, I was knocking on heaven's door, you know. So like, I got my life back in some shape, and Erica was a big part of that, of like getting the test done, figuring out my DNA, and working on eating the things that are going to put me at the best possible performance to get through the day.
What did it tell you to stay away from? Like, what did you just like stop? Like, I'm not allowed to eat X anymore.
Yeah, like the folic acid was a big thing for me, you know. So that was huge. So anything with folic acid, and it's interesting because I was taking vitamins that had folic acid in it, you know. So I had to like get a vitamin set that didn't have the folic acid that was going to, you know, help.
Too much folic acid? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it was just too much, you know. So like you talk about that inflammation and things like that, same thing, right? So
Yeah.
my joints and stuff. Yeah, my joints are so much healthier now.
Yeah.
From changing the diet, and I'm able to kind of put muscle on a little bit better now, and just kind of feeling energized throughout the day was a big thing. Not feeling bloated, not feeling, you know, that kind of thing. So like you just felt so lethargic before, whereas now I've just got energy throughout the day. So yeah, that's definitely a big part of it.
Yeah. All right,
Didn't bring my hair back at all. You know, I couldn't solve that problem, but you know, whatever.
They didn't have a supplement for that.
They might have a supplement, but I'm not on it.
I get these ads on TikTok every day. Like, are you going bald? We can help you. I'm like, you got the wrong guy, man.
Oh, they're sending it to the wrong person. What? You send those ads to me, man.
Yeah.
What else is going on here? What's happening? Duel in the pool? Is that where we're at?
Yeah. Well, I think like 2 days ago, Titmus kind of came out and was like, I'm not so sure I'm going to swim that meet. And then the following day, Ledecky came out and said, like, I'm definitely not swimming that meet at all.
Oh, she said definite?
She's not swimming. So
wow.
I think the swimming world today is a little bit, a lot of the fans are a little bit upset, you know, because this was billed as like round 2, you know, Titmus versus Ledecky. And now we're not going to get it. We're not getting it at World Championships. We're not going to get it at Duel in the Pool. I mean, we're not going to get it until probably the Olympics, to be honest with you. That's what I think now.
Yeah, I think that's the way it's shaping up. Honestly, I think that's the way Dean Boxall is planning it, to be honest. You know, I don't think he wants them to go head to head until the Olympics. I think he's going to build it and build it and build it. And it's just going to be all right. We're at the Olympics. It's best woman wins on the day. So yeah, I think that's the way they're planning it.
I think Titmus will end up swimming it now. You know, now that Ledecky's not going to be there. It would be different if it was in a different country, but it's like in your hometown. Like,
yeah, I think one of the things they did well, from what I can tell, and I'm not sure the timing between Commonwealth Games and that, but what they did well after the Olympics is give her a break, right? She needed a break, and she got it, and she came back stronger, you know, from that break. So maybe that's part of the thinking here is like, look, we could do all these meets, but we're going to time it so that we're at our best in Paris. We don't care about anything else. So Depends on where it falls.
Duel in the pool is the Ryder Cup, right? This isn't like, hey, we're shaving and tapering. This is supposed to be a in-season dual meet, right? It's not a championship meet. It's just supposed to be. It just is. It just like I'm disappointed. Like I want to
I'm
see.
Disappointed. I'm disappointed, but
best
Dean
swimmers in
Boxall
the
could give
world.
Dean Boxall could care less about your disappointment. What he's caring about is Paris. He wants to be on the podium, top of it.
Yeah, I actually that's exactly what I wrote in the newsletter on Monday morning was like, this it wasn't about Ledecky, it was about Titmus saying how Titmus wasn't going to be there, and I was just disappointed that she how can a swim in Australia not put the best swimmer, the face of Australian swimming in the meet that they just said that everyone was going to swim in, but this thing I said at the end was, but at the end of the day, it's like Dean Boxall doesn't care about anything except for Paris. No. It's the Olympics or bust. Nothing else matters.
And no one can force him to do otherwise. There's no contract that says you have to absolutely do this or you're off the team. They're not going to kick her off the team. So she has the choice. And they're saying, like, look, do you want us to win in Paris or do you want us to just be part of the team? Like, what do you want here? And that's, he has that ability to say that now because he's winning gold medals and breaking world records. So when you have that ability, you use it, and that's what he's doing. And good for him. He wants to be at his best when it matters the most, I guess. It's not everybody's philosophy necessarily. Of course, everyone wants to be at their best, but everyone has a different path to get there. And I think that's what he's accessing,
What if they got paid a substantial amount of money to swim?
Yeah, you pay someone $1 million, they're showing up, but no one's paying any swimmer $1 million to show up to a dual meet.
Yeah, but don't you think that's part of the problem for this thing too? Is like the biggest swimmers aren't going to swim in it, and why is that? Because they're focused on the Olympics, or because it's you got to travel across the world, you got to be there for a bunch of time, and then you got to
of course
continue to train the whole entire time, and then you're not going to get paid very much money to do all that.
Well, why do you think the basketball players play in the All-Star game? Like they're not showing up for the jersey, But so there's levels of this thing, you pay people appropriately, they're going to do it. But if it's, traveling across the world to Australia, the reason why I haven't done it in 7 years is because it's not fun,
It's not fun, I know, yeah.
You need 2 weeks to recover from it.
It's ridiculous.
Pay me. Put me in first class and pay me, and I'll think about it. But other than that, I'm not sitting in the back of the plane. And
I think maybe that's what they should be thinking about then.
Well, they're probably thinking about it. They can't afford it. What does this say?
How do you grow the sport if the top swimmers don't race each other?
Well, yeah.
You grow it every 4 years, I guess.
How do you grow the sport if they won't come on your podcast? That's the question I ask myself every day. Thanks for the question. If anyone can let me know why Michael Phelps won't come on the podcast, inform me. Let me know. I've tried.
Maybe he doesn't know it's out yet. He hasn't seen any episodes.
Yeah, well, I tag him enough.
Elite swimmers try to avoid their rivalries, Brett?
Yes, in certain situations, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I mean, they know they're going to meet at a certain point in time, but Gary Hall Jr. did not want to race Popov until the Olympics. I know that for a fact. I know that from Gary, and he had success with that in 2000, 2004. Gary came out on top because his theory was, I'm not going to see you for another 4 years, buddy, and when I see you, I'm going to be ready to race you. Right. Okay, it worked, so everybody's a little different, right? Some people love it. Katinka Hosu wants to race every person every day, all the time, anywhere, any place, anytime.
Yep.
Right? Yep. So Bruno Fratis has a similar mindset. The guy's swum 21 seconds 97 times. He's not avoiding anybody. So it's like everyone's a little different, Yeah.
All true.
Mm.
All right. We got world champs in 8 days. I mean,
when
usually we're not like big, like preview, like prediction people until like after prelims, you get to watch people to see even if they're swimming or not. But have you thought about any of the races you're interested in seeing? Or maybe some of the people, maybe some of the swimmers? What's on your noggin?
I mean, I always have the general what I'm interested in for sure. You know what I'm interested in. I'm interested. Actually, I like the fact
only the 50.
Well, I like the fact there's 50s at the World Championships, the 50s
Touché.
of all strokes. So I like that. I wish they had 50s at the Olympics. I believe the 50 is a legitimate event that can be trained for and mastered and perfected by people that aren't necessarily good at the 100. Not everybody on the track who runs the 100 runs the 200, right?
100%.
It's 10 seconds. It's 20 seconds, but they don't all do it. So it's the same in swimming. So you're going to have specialists like a Ben Proud, for instance, who are going to absolutely be so dominant in that race and competitive and not, 30 seconds later, they're dead. So it's like the 50s are exciting to me, and I think they should be in the Olympics. I've been fighting for that for a while.
I know.
To
I've written too many
those.
blog posts about this.
Yeah, so that's exciting to me. I don't know. I've been putting a series up on Instagram. Have you seen my series?
Awesome. Dude, I'm loving it. Every single one of them.
I know. I asked
classic
yesterday.
races.
Yeah, some of those classics. It reminded me like that when David Marsh was like, "Oh, the Kieran Perkins 94." Like that 94 swim put Kieran on the map. And one of the things I was going to say on Instagram, I don't know if everybody knows this, but I guess I'm giving away the answer now. But do you know who the first millionaire swimmer was in the history of swimming?
Kieran Perkins.
Boom. So Kieran Perkins from that meet went on to become an absolute mega superstar in Australia, right? Because he just dominated, and swimming was huge around that time. And I think at that time we had the Sydney Olympics coming up, which was kind of building momentum for the next 6 years. And so Kieran Perkins was like boom everywhere, and all of a sudden he's a millionaire, literally. And I'm not talking just
mid-90s.
I'm talking real millionaire swimmer. It never happened before. I mean, we had the Summer Sanders and maybe the Janet Evans who were making some money. Don't get me wrong. This guy started making millions, and then it changed swimming. It opened the door for Ian Thorpe and Grant Hackett and Michael Klim and Michael Phelps. These types of athletes, Kieran Perkins opened the door for them to become millionaires, multimillionaires. So he's the first guy. So that swam that I put up on Instagram is such an iconic race. Very cool. So I got a couple more coming.
Good.
Got a few more in the works.
Well, I'll certainly be watching.
Yeah. But other than that, the World Champs. Look, the World Champs is always exciting. I think it's going to be interesting to see who actually does show up and who's not there, and the whole. We're dealing with the whole Russia thing. Russia's not even there, right? No Russian athlete.
No Russian athletes.
Wow.
Nope, they can't even swim under the.
They can't even
swim under some other flag.
No Russian athletes.
No
wow.
Russian athletes. No,
that really hasn't even been talked about that greatly.
It really hasn't. Yeah. I made a funny meme. I haven't posted it yet, but it is about Russian swimmers. So put that out. So.
All right. I love your little. What are you putting up these days? The little dance thing. All right, they're so funny. Like you can't not watch that 5 times in a row and just laugh. It's like the Sonny one you put up today. I just look at Sonny's face while he's dancing. I'm like, that is the funniest thing. It's so
him and Tom Rushton. I put them together dancing today. So check that out on Instagram.
When is the Worlds going live? Did you say it was 12 p.m. every day?
I think it's 12 noon our time, Eastern time. I also took a new job. I guess you could call it a job. It's just a little part-time job, a little coaching gig. And unfortunately, the swim practice is from 1 to 2:45. So I will.
Is it every day?
It's every day, Monday through Friday. No weekends or anything.
Well, maybe when's the? This is interesting. When's the 50 free actually go off?
We'd have
It would probably be a Saturday or Sunday, wouldn't it? Probably be a weekend. So we might be able to kind of actually go live then, because I got work. I'm the same. Like I can't just all of a sudden disappear at 12 o'clock every day anymore. So unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to be doing live every day, but we will add in a couple of lives where we can.
Yeah, let me. It looks like the women's. Yeah, Saturday is the women's 50 free final, the
Perfect.
women's 50 breast final, the women's
Perfect.
4IM final,
Nice.
the women's 4x100 medley relay,
Oh, yes.
the men's mile, the
Mm.
men's 50 back, and the men's medley relay. Those are all on the final day on Saturday. So,
Oh, the final day is Saturday.
yeah, the final day it's Saturday to Saturday.
So maybe so Friday. Actually, I can do Friday because I'm home from an office gig. You know, I go on Monday to Thursday. So Friday I could actually go live. Is that the men's 50 free?
No, the men's 50 free is
What? It's usually the
men's
day
50 free
before
is
the women's.
Thursday. It's
Thursday.
prelims, which means Friday is the
Are they only
finale.
doing prelims finals or are they doing semis?
They are doing semis for some of them.
Yeah, so the final of the 50 free would be Friday then if the prelims is Thursday.
It's Friday it's Friday at 12 noon.
Oh, we're going live, baby. Men's 50 free. We're going live. Absolutely.
I can definitely jump on for like 30 minutes, the first 30 minutes, but then I gotta bounce.
Yeah, I
The
think you
pool's
got
right next to my house, so it's like 2 minutes away.
pretty sure you're gonna get sick that day, so you might have to like not call into work, you know, and just
And actually, we're looking, and I might be able to do that. We are looking for somebody on the other coast, on the West Coast. So if you're in San Diego, you're a swim coach, you're looking for an interesting job in swimming. This one is about as interesting as it gets. Working for the Navy and doing some special program type stuff. So if you are in San Diego and you're looking for a coaching job, give me a call. Email me, nate@swimnerd.com.
do it.
I don't know if there are. Let me see if there are semis for 200s.
You know who's been super quiet, and who I think is gonna unleash here is Popovich, man. I think Popovich has been super quiet.
He has been very quiet. And yes, there are semis for the 200s. So, yeah, I mean, it's an 8-day meet. It's a big meet. It's like a normal 8-day schedule, I think. Obviously with the 50s added. So,
yeah.
We've got a bunch of comments. What's going on here?
I don't know. People are blowing up the comments section all of a sudden. What's happening?
I mean, we're talking about swimming. I guess people are pumped.
Yeah,
but
can't wait.
Other than that, we got a swimming newsletter, swimspam.com. Sign up for that. It comes out every Monday. Clips of the week from the podcast and swimming meme of the week, swimming set of the week. There's some fun stuff in there. People have certainly enjoyed it. We give away a tiny personal pace clock every single Friday. So tomorrow, somebody that has referred somebody to the Swim Spam newsletter will win a tiny little pace clock worth $150. So go to swimspam.com and sign up for the newsletter and make sure you stay in touch with us, everything that we're doing here and everywhere. Other than that, anything else there, Brett?
I haven't really got any podcasts done and recorded, have I? I don't think I've got anything sitting waiting for release, have I?
No, we don't. But
so
if you can tell, we have been going back to we're going through the top 10, top 20 podcasts. We didn't clip podcasts at the beginning when we first started. When we first started, you didn't even do video. Remember that?
Yeah, that was pathetic. Yeah,
that was ridiculous. But we're gonna go. There's so much good content from those interviews. We're gonna try to cut them out and release the best pieces. For little learnings and little nuggets and things like that. So those will continue, and then I mean, obviously, we're gonna be talking all about world championships, like for the most part. And maybe we'll go live when we're not at work. And maybe there's not swimming, but maybe we can talk about swimming. Maybe we can watch some of the races after the fact or something. But
yeah. I am doing a podcast tonight with one of the world's leading strength coaches. I'm doing another strength coach podcast, so I'm kind of going to dig into a little bit more specific stuff. But she's one of the world's leading strength coaches, so that's going to be pretty cool and interesting. I'm trying to take different approaches, as you guys can see, mix it up. It's hard to get swimmers all the time, but
and it's good to I mean, you want to learn about everything, like when you started this podcast, because it's about high performance and trying to take it to the next level. That's why I like Erica's like nutrition's like that one little piece that so many people haven't figured out yet, right? And it's the same thing with strength and conditioning. Like, we're swim coaches, we're not strength and conditioning coaches. And a lot of people have commented like how helpful these interviews have been with these strength and conditioning coaches that were also swimmers for the most part, that really understand what people need to do. So
now listen, all these people are on Any Question. Get over to Any Question. You can get a free account, right, for an hour, and you can check it out. But honestly, it's $50 a month, and you get access to all the best.
$50 a year.
$50 a year. Sorry,
$5 a month.
$5 a month.
It's
cheap
the
as
money.
dirt.
The money isn't even the thing.
No, $50 a year is nothing.
Do you want to learn and better yourself, talking and asking questions to the best of the best of the best? That's just the question you have to ask yourself.
Yeah, listen to this. Look, I'm going to run through the channels we have right now and the access that you have to the world's best people, right? Swimming has over 11,000 answers right now, almost 12,000 answers on the swimming channel with 77 experts. We have triathlon, best triathletes in the world, over 2,500 answers on there. A strength channel with 20 of the best strength coaches in the world. A cycling channel, a health channel, which is going to be actually split into 3 different parts. You're going to have musculoskeletal health. You're going to have nutrition. It's going to have its own channel here next week. And then it's going to be broken into, doctors, those sorts of things, pediatricians, can ask all those types of health questions. And then we've got a running channel with the best runners and track athletes in the world. We've actually got a scholars channel now, right? So the best nerds. The best nerds, yeah. The best
That's
nerds
cool.
in the scholar business. So we have MIT and Harvard professors on there, and you can ask them like super crazy questions. We have photography's coming in the next month, surfing's coming, golf and tennis. So get over to Any Question, $50 a year, right? And awesome stuff on there. So I'm proud to be working there, and I'm learning so much, I got to tell you. So appreciate this. We're going to keep the podcast coming. Every now and then we'll do some live shows wherever we can. Always appreciate you guys jumping on and asking all
questions
the questions.
And being part of it. Yeah, the whole thing.
The questions really kind of get us going, don't they? We like it.
Yeah, I love it. These are my favorite times. I missed it a bit. I've been missing these live shows. I think it's every time I talk to coaches, which I do obviously every day, and people just talk about it all the time to me now, all the time. I just, it's just it feels good.
Anyone else doing a swimming live show? So I know there's people ripping off some of the things we're doing, but anyone doing a swimming live show? Anyone? You seen another one out there?
I don't know if they're live. Most of them are recorded, but
this is it, man. This is the only one I know live show. This is it, all right? And we appreciate seeing the same people week after week or whatever it is come on, seeing your names appear. It gives us a good feeling. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Nate, thanks for all the work you do.
Brett, good to see you, man.
Yep.
Catch up with you soon.
Peace, everybody.